Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Laura and I make all sorts of mixed media art. And today I am reviewing these wonderful pencils that I was sent by Woomer, which I'm so appreciative for. And yeah, let's get into it. So I started by swatching the pencils, of course. I'm so happy that they came with like a little swatch sheet, which was really nice that they included, and the fact that it doubles up as like the wrap for the packaging, so there's like less waste, and you can use, obviously, look at the artwork on the front of it, which is really nice. I really like that thought behind the design. The only thing is it doesn't really fit inside the pencil, like the case. But other than that, you can just pin it to the wall to see the many swatches that you do. I usually start by swatching my new art mediums that I try out, just because it gives you like a good, good introduction to the new art supply. And if I don't do this, then it's really hard to like know what the colors are, even though these pencils are very accurate to the color on the pencil itself, because sometimes the pencils, or like I guess with markers especially, like the marker will be a different color when it's on the paper than it is allocated on the packaging itself. However, with the pencils, they're very accurate. As you can see me working on these pieces, every pencil looks exactly the same. The lead is the same with the pencil color. But yeah, so the pencils are definitely very soft. On specific paper though, I will add that they're very, I found them a little bit hard to use on this paper. I'll mention it later in the video as well. But when I was swatching the pencils themselves, I did notice that some pencils were a little bit harder, or some were a little bit more softer than others. And I love the soft buttery pencils, but it's not an issue at all, because sometimes you know, it's not that noticeable. It's only a few that didn't seem as soft and buttery, but other than that, they're very consistent. So the pencils, as you saw, there is 72 of them altogether, and the color selection is really nice. I'm so happy how many different colors and tones, and just overall the colors are amazing. I mean, the colors are so bright. So the colors, there is so many of them, which means that you can use them, you know, one after another to blend them through, and I think that's really cool. However, I do think that there's too many grays for myself. I would have preferred more either greens or blues, or even reds. I think that there could have been a bit more pinks and reds. I know that there is already a lot, and you know, I'm very grateful for what I have, but for my own experience, I mean, too many greys for me. But other than that, it's amazing. I love them all, and I'm super happy with them. So another thing is that sometimes pencils are a little bit hard, like the actual wooden part of the pencil, which makes them harder to sharpen. However, with these, they're really soft and easy to sharpen. I don't usually use a pencil sharpener. I'll use like a craft knife to shave down the sides, because I just find it a lot quicker and a lot more, consistent, and I can make the lead a lot longer than if you were to sharpen. I think I've got some kind of trauma with the sharpeners, because every time I sharpen, they just break. So going into that, these pencils do not break. Like, no matter how hard I press, and mind you, on this hard sketchbook paper, I pressed hard, and they did not shatter, they did not fall. There was no instance where I lost the lead on the pencil, which was mind-blowing, because the pencils that I do have, the very limited selection, every single time, if I press a little harder, it will snap. And these are, I don't know what they've done to these leads, but they don't shatter, which is amazing. So another thing with these pencils, which is really cool, you can layer them up. So I don't know if anyone's noticed this in the pencils before, but if you try and layer them up, they become like super waxy. So this does happen with these pencils as well, the more layers you do on top of each other. But I don't know what it is, but these layer so nicely as well. So again, later in the video you'll see as well that the softer the paper is, the better they work. I did find it a little bit harder to blend and like just make them work on this hard thick paper, but yeah, other than that, I love these and I'm definitely gonna keep using them in my processes. Okay, so I've tried the pencils in my sketchbook, but I was just wondering to see what they're like on a different kind of paper, because obviously I tried them on the swatches, which is quite smooth, as well as my sketchbook paper is very smooth. So I'm gonna try using this 220 GSM heavyweight cartridge paper. It's got a little bit of a texture, it's still quite smooth, but it's very soft. So I'm gonna try using them on this, see what I come up with, and yeah, we'll see. So I mentioned this later in the video as well. I don't want to repeat myself too much with the voiceover itself, but I just wanted to say that I never really do pencil art like completely, just using pencil for everything, and it's actually been quite interesting to see what I can create with just pencils, and it's actually made me like kind of fall in love with the process a little bit, because it's so easy. Even though I do love mixed media and I'll never stop, I really enjoyed the process of using these pencils. I think it's because how easy they blend and the colors, the layers, everything. And I don't know, the color selection might have something to do with it. I just found it really fascinating. It's like learning something completely new, and I'm so grateful, and thank you so much, Woomer, again. Make sure you check the link in my bio to view these pencils, as well as a percentage off link will be down in the description as well. And then I also decided to do another piece, but to go back to my process, how I usually use pencils, because I have such a limited amount, I'd say maybe I have 20 at most, like colored pencils, and the way that I usually use them is primarily just for the sketch, because I love having a colorful sketch rather than a graphite sketch on the bottom. However, I do also use them sometimes in my gouache or watercolor paintings, where I just like add like a little sheen to the sides, or like bring in an extra dimension of color. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my process video using these pencils and learning something brand new for me. And yeah, I hope to see you in another video. Thank you, Woomer, again. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, I am done and I am absolutely overwhelmed by how good these pencils are. I will be honest, they're not the best on super smooth, quite like I don't know how to explain it, like super like smooth and like hard paper, because like I don't know if you know what I mean, but like the thicker the paper and like the more texture it has usually is more soft. This is very smooth because it's not intended for pencils. It's actually the Ohuhu alcohol marker sketchbook, but I use it for everything because I love the smoothness. However, I then tried the pencils on this paper and yeah, the difference is phenomenal, and the whole experience coloring with the pencils is wonderful. I am not like, I never create pieces using straight up pencil, so it's really different for me. I found this experience a little bit challenging and so I did try and mix in some more media into it. And with this, I tried painting on the arches smooth watercolor paper and hot pressed watercolor paper, sorry. And what I did was I drew the sketch, which was really nice, very smooth and buttery. And then I colored it in with gouache and watercolor. And then going over it with the pencils, I wanted to test what the pencils feel like on the gouache, because sometimes they can be a little bit waxy and like kind of lose the color. However, with these, absolutely fine, great, I love it. I'm so over the moon with these pencils. I'm definitely going to use them in my process, and yeah, I love the color selection. Overall, very wonderful.